Hello everyone, welcome back to the Week in Sports. This week we saw a lot of action in cricket, Formula One, and of course the kicking off of the Olympics. First, let's start with cricket. We go on to Sri Lanka vs India 3-match one-day international series, which was played in Colombo. It was Sri Lanka's pretty inexperienced team taking on India's second team. It was supposed to be a really good contest. In the first ODI, Sri Lanka won the toss and decided to bat first. They got off to a pretty good start, both the openers chipping in with their runs. Unlike the openers, the other batsmen got their foot in, but never really capitalized on it. In the end, it was a cameo from Karunaratne which got them to 262 for 9. The Indian fielding was not up to the mark. They would definitely want to improve on that. And they would have also liked to restrict Sri Lanka to under 250. But the burst in the last 3 overs got Sri Lanka to a really good score. The pick of the Indian bowlers was Krunal Pandya, with his figures of 1 for 26 from his 10 overs. Every bowler in India picked up a wicket, except for Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Shah kicked off in the Indian innings with some beautiful shots. After he fell, Ishan Kishan came in and smashed the first ball he faced in ODI for a huge 6. That was really gutsy. He went on to make a 50 as well. But it was the anchor role played by Dhawan which carried the game away from Sri Lanka. He went on to carry his bat with a score of 86 not out. In the process, he crossed 6,000 runs in ODI and also crossed 10,000 runs in international cricket. Sri Lankan fielding was not up to the mark, and it was only the spinners who picked up some wickets. In the end, India went on to chase the target with more than 13 overs to spare. In the second ODI, Sri Lanka won the toss and elected to bat again. They had a pretty good start with an opening partnership of 77 runs. Avishka and Asalanka both scoring 50 plus. In the end, a cameo from Karunaratne taking them to a score of 275 for 9. The Indian fielding was much better in this match, but there's definitely scope for improvement. Bhuvi and Yuzi picked up 3 wickets each, and Deepak Chahar picked up a couple of wickets as well. India had a shaky start, losing Shah and Ishan early. But there was a really good partnership budding between Manish Pandey and Sky. Unfortunately, Manish Pandey was run out by a straight drive by Sky, which hit the wickets. Once Sky fell, it was Sri Lanka's game to lose. But Krunal Pandya and Deepak Chahar had a really good partnership. Once Krunal was dismissed, it was Bhuvi and Chahar who timed the chase really well to finish things off for India. There were some lucky edges which went to the boundary. That made the chase a little easier for India. But Sri Lankan fielding definitely needs some improvement. They were really disappointed to lose the match and in the process lose the series as well. Having won the series already, India made several changes to their team in the third ODI. There were 5 debutants for Team India in this match. They were Sanju Samson, Nitish Rana, Rahul Chahar, Krishna Gautam and Chetan Chakaria. India won the toss and elected to bat first. They were cruising along really well at 143 for 3 in 23 overs when rain interrupted play. The match was reduced to 47 overs. Once they came back to bat, the ball was gripping really well and there was a lot of assistance to the spinners. India lost wickets in a hurry and were bundled out for 225. Sri Lanka was set a target of 227 in 47 overs based on DLS. There were some useful innings by Shah, Samson and Sky, and Sri Lankan bowling was all about their spinners. Both the spinners picking up 3 wickets each. Sri Lanka started off really well in spite of losing early wicket. The knocks by Avishka and Rajapaksha put them in the game. Once Rajapaksha fell, Sri Lanka kept losing wickets in regular intervals. But India's total wasn't too high and they were able to chase it down with 8 overs to spare. India dropped 3 catches in the match, which could have tilted the game towards them. Chahar was the pick of the Indian bowling, who picked up 3 wickets. Both Gautam and Chakaria picked up their maiden ODI wicket as well. This was Sri Lanka's first victory in their home soil against India in more than 9 years. For India, the star performers were Prithvi Shaw with the bat, Deepak Chahar for his all-round performance. Sri Lanka's Avishka shined with his bat, and the spinners showed a lot of potential. Next is England vs Pakistan T20 series. After losing the ODI series 3-0, Pakistan were really looking for a comeback in this series. In the first match, England won the toss and elected to field. Pakistan got off to a flyer, having an opening partnership of 150 runs and scoring at more than 10 runs an over. Rizwan got 63 and Babar Azam got 85. With a few quick-fire innings by other batters, Pakistan ended with 232 for 5 in 20 overs. This is their highest total in T20I. The English bowlers, everybody went for a lot of runs. England didn't get off to a good start. They were 3 down for 48 in the 5th over. But once Livingstone came in, it was game on. Livingstone went on to score the fastest 50 in T20I for England in 17 deliveries. He also converted the 50 to the fastest T20I 100 for England in 42 balls. But his knock was in vain as Pakistan picked up wickets at the right time to bowl out England for 201 and win the match by 31 runs. This was their first win in the tour. In the second match, Pakistan won the toss and decided to bowl. England lost early wickets, but it was Moeen Ali and Josh Butler who steadied the ship with a 67-run stand. Livingstone played a cameo as well. In the end, England were bowled out for 200. Pakistan bowling, Shaheen Afridi picked up 1 wicket and he was also the most economical bowler. It was a good start by Pakistan with a 50-run opening stand. Rizwan's wicket, the catch by Adil Rashid of his own bowling, that was fantastic. Pakistan kept losing wickets in regular intervals and managed to score only 155 runs, losing the match by 45 runs. The English spinners picked up 5 wickets and Shakib Mohammad picked up 3. In the third match, Pakistan won the toss and decided to bat first. Once again, they had a really good opening stand of 42 runs. They were 69 for 3 at the 9th over when their scoring rate dipped. In the end, they managed to score only 154 runs, with Rizwan carrying his bat for 76. Adil Rashid was the pick of the English bowlers, picking up 4 wickets. It was an amazing opening partnership for England. They were 67 from 8 overs when Butler fell. Jason Roy with his massive hitting got to 64 before he fell for Usman. Marlon and Morgan's clean hitting got them close to the target. But it wasn't over yet. Marlon was dismissed in the 19th over, followed by Livingston dismissed in the same over. Morgan was dismissed in the first ball of the 20th over. Finally, it was Chris Jordan who got them over the line with 2 balls to spare. It was a really well fought series. The series was alive till the last over. Makes a great reception for the upcoming World T20. In more cricket around the world, Bangladesh bet Zimbabwe in the ODI series 3-0. The first ODI, Bangladesh won by 155 runs. The second ODI was much closely fought, which Bangladesh won by 3 wickets. The third ODI, Zimbabwe scored big. They scored 298, which Bangladesh were able to chase it down in 48 overs. Litan Das scored 96 runs in the first match. Shakib picked up 5 wickets. Shakib followed his first match bowling performance with a 96 not out in the second match, which won the match for Bangladesh. Chakabwa scored his second 50 in the series in the third ODI. Tamim Iqbal scored a century to win the match for Bangladesh. In the process, won the man of the match as well. In India's tour of England, India played a practice match against County Select 11. There were really good batting performance by KL Rahul and Ravindra Jadeja in the first innings. Hanuma Vihari got into the runs in the second innings. Overall, a really good bowling performance by India as well. Hamid, who scored a century, has earned his spot in the English side. Next, we move on to Formula 1. What a race weekend we had in Silverstone. 3 days packed with so much drama. Hamilton took the pole position in the Friday's sprint qualifying, followed by Max and Bottas. Leclerc came in at number 4, which was followed by Perez, Norris and Ricciardo. George Russell has been really killing it in the qualifying in the past few races. I'm sure he will earn some points in the near future. Max won the first ever sprint qualifying by taking the lead in the start. He overtook Hamilton even before reaching the first corner. We could literally see flames coming out of his front brakes, which helped him keep the tire pressure up, and that worked wonders for him. Hamilton came second, followed by Bottas, Leclerc, Norris and Ricciardo. Perez went out of the track in the first lap. He went into the pit but never came out, which meant he had to start the race from the pit lane. Sunday's race was all about the first lap drama. Max didn't get the same start which he got in the sprint qualifying, which meant Lewis was all over him. By the time we reached Cobb's corner, Lewis and Max were wheel to wheel. Max tried to cut Lewis off by taking the racing line. Hamilton tried to slow down, but he hit Max's rear wheel, which took Max out of the race. It was a really high-speed crash. Max was able to get out of the car himself. He was taken to the hospital later on and given an all okay. In my opinion, it was purely a racing incident. They have been racing wheel to wheel all throughout the season, and it was bound to happen at some point. Hamilton was overtaken by Leclerc in the accident. The race was red flagged. They had to start the race again from the pit lane after 15 minutes. Hamilton also incurred a 10-second penalty, which he could serve during his pit stop. Leclerc led every single lap until the 50th lap, when he was overtaken by the 7-time world champion, who was gaining more than 700th of a second every single lap after serving his penalty. Bottas was instructed to let Hamilton pass, as Hamilton was clearly faster of the two cars and Bottas was already having blistering in his tires. Hamilton passed Norris as well during his charge. Norris could have easily finished in the podium if not for a mistake by his team in the pit stop. Ferrari did a mistake in the pit stop as well for Carlos Sainz, which costed him a position, otherwise he could have easily overtaken Ricciardo. Perez's charge from the 20th position didn't go as per plan. He was looking good to finish in points, but Red Bull pitted him, trying to make the fastest lap by taking the point away from Mercedes, and I don't understand what strategy that was. The season is well poised right now, with only 8 points between Max and Hamilton and only 4 points between Red Bull and Mercedes. Let's see how it goes. Next, we move on to the Olympics happening in Tokyo. The Olympics is in full swing right now. It was really nice to see Naomi Osaka lighting the flame to kickstart the event. India won its first medal, Mirabai Channu taking the silver medal in the 49 kg women's weightlifting. Australia won its first gold in 4 into 100 meters women's freestyle swimming. The next week is going to be really action-packed. That is all in sports this week. Next week I'll be doing a review of a docu-series, Naomi Osaka, which released in Netflix. And it's also going to be an action-packed week in sports. I'll also be talking about the 100, which is happening in England right now. I hope you all enjoyed this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Take care and stay safe.